Well, hello, we're back with Minecraft. Machacht. You know, as they would say in ye old Germany of old. Ye old Germany of old. Good. Good. Good start, Silas. Good start to your goddamn commentary. Oh, man. I'm so distracted right now. I'm worried because the drink of tonight is Jack and Coke. And the issue with that is that alcohol and Minecraft tends to not mix. Like, at all. So here's hoping that I can do good. And it's already nighttime. I better get in. Better hunker down. Are you still gonna come this way? You still coming my way, cutie? No? Alright, I'm gonna trust that. I'll trust you with that. There we go. Okay, it's fine. Should I go this way? I should probably go this way. I think this way is the best. The recommended route. I won't be needing the nighttime for a while, so there we go. And bada bing. Yeah, we're doing it. We're going back to the past. Yep, this is the right way because I don't have it marked down. Good thing I checked through here. Oh man, a lot of things are happening in the world right now. I don't want to talk about it, but here I am expected to talk about things. You know, that's what I realized, is that the biggest problem with my channel is that, like, well, the biggest problem with commentary in general is that when somebody clicks on a video, they expect the world. And, you know, that's a generalization. I'm not stereotyping anybody. Like, you may not expect me to deliver the best commentary, but, you know, you expect me to take some minutes out of your life, you know, like, just let you forget about your troubles, or, you know, discuss your troubles and, you know, find a heaping helping of a kindred spirit, as you might say. And, you know, it's hard for somebody with the weird experiences that I have, being, like, you know, an American who's also Middle Eastern, that grew up in Utah with experiences from both Islam and the LDS Church. It's quite a weird basket that you've got going on with me, and a lot of people don't know how to react. And, you know, I don't understand how to interact with those people. You know, I try. I mean, like, the key to any good transaction between people, transaction, interaction, what have you, is to be optimistic while you're doing it. No, I mean, obviously, like, if you punch somebody, if you slug somebody in the face, unless you're really good at it, like this motherfucker called Taylor that I knew from school who nearly got kidnapped, like, twice, like, unless you manage to, like, study your smile like you're Ted Bundy, like, you won't be able to get away with much. And, you know, I try not to get away with too much. I expect the same respect for people to give me as anybody else. And, you know, in some cases, that's none. On the internet, it's certainly none. And I try to embrace that aspect of, you know, that's why I'm still here, is because, like, I expect for somebody to understand that, you know, I'm here communicating with you as an audience. I'm here to supply, like, commentary for a podcast that's palpable, that's tolerable to that's not only tolerable but good to the ear, something that won't make you click away immediately. And, you know, with this kind of series, with my Minecraft series, like, it doesn't go many places, and my computer just pulled up a pop-up that I had to clear away real quick. The computer that see, I've got my desktop, and that's what's running Minecraft right now, and my laptop, which is supplying the microphone. Should I get a microphone that's attached to this computer? Absolutely. But, you know, I mean, I'm not a millionaire like Bernie Sanders, but I can, you know, I spent a lot of money on just the recording equipment alone that I spend with my, like, console stuff. Like, I only found out how to record on my computer, like, a short time ago. Let's see, how do I get out of here? And, you know, I may not provide that sort of commentary that is just so jaw-droppingly incredible, like, that you just expect the world from. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm somewhat laid back, and when I'm not laid back, I'm super radical, and some people may not agree with some of my opinions, and you know, I don't judge them for it. I don't hold it against them. Like, I'd like to debate some folks, like, just sincerely, with no, like, hostile intent. But I don't know, for like I guess nobody actively seeks me out, and those who do really don't pay attention to what I have to say. And I know that that could be considered an excuse, and I'm not saying it isn't. It's, I don't know. It's just a lot of people get angry with what I have to say, and you know, I'm light compared to like some other people. Okay, I'm no, I don't advocate for violence or I don't marginalize. I don't. I just simply like try to pick a. I try to like when it comes to all my arguments, like I try to act within reason, and whenever like whenever reason becomes stressed, it's like when I pick a side, like in like okay, so like I had a D&D group that had kicked me out, and the reason why they had kicked me out was because I said that by fully endorsing either major candidate in the recent political election, you're no better than the other side, virtually. And some people took offense to that, and I'd say a lot of people. I mean, certainly anybody who did vote in the general election, because clearly they voted their conscience. Well, not necessarily. Some people voted their conscience. Some people decided to bite the bullet. I know Johnny bit the bullet and voted against his conscience. And, you know, I guess there were a lot more who did feel like they were voting. Maybe voting their conscience was sort of them. It was sort of the catalyst for their annoyance, because they felt like they had no other option to that extent. And they ended up just going against what I had to say, just because they were biting a bullet. They weren't happy, but they could only do so much. And you know, I wouldn't blame them for admitting that. It's just like I like to address. I address things very directly for someone who just used a lack of examples to try to prove a point. Speaking of political elections, God, I wish that fucking, I speak, like, I wish that, like, in elections, that the moderators or, you know, whoever you're thinking of, whoever, like, is coordinating the event, like, there's never anybody who says, well, here's the tape, or here's when you said, and I quote. Like, they don't do that. They just accept. They accept they accept whoever the candidate is, and they run with it because they don't want to piss off either party, and like move over to other, and have them move over to other corporations, other news corporations, because they could easily do that. And that adds into the issues with capitalism in general, is that, like, as a result of media having so much power, they've also handed a lot of that power over to the government, because they're adherent to what the government has to say. They kneel, they obey pretty much everything the government has to say. Like when fucking Sean Spencer ordered people to turn off those cameras, like what would have happened if somebody said, "Nah, I'm gonna keep recording"? Because there was no threats made. Sean Spicer just said, "Hey, no cameras. Turn your cameras off for this part." And it's like everybody was cool with that, and everybody argues that was an issue with the White House, and I'm not going to deny that that was an issue with the White House. But I'd say that it was more of an issue that the major news corporations, who we depend on, who we're supposed to depend on, just go along. Just go along with what the government has to say. And it's like, we have the freedom of the press. You know, that's something that I'll always advocate for. But the press isn't freeing itself. It's being caught up in just, I can't describe it, as sort of this media government conglomerate where they're so desperate for like what the government tells them, that they adhere to everything the government has to say because they're so buddy-buddy. Like, am I going to like give you a lawyer's example of like how, like, what, like, I'd argue the Telecommunications Act did a whole lot of that. The Telecommunications Act of '96, like, that was one of the worst. That was one of the worst. Everybody forgets about that. And it's like, hey, so we're just going to let these big five corporations just, you know, control everything on the TV. And, you know, once the internet comes along, we'll decide. And the internet stuff is already starting to happen. It's starting to happen with fucking Google and YouTube, where it's like they are demonetizing independent news journalism, like regardless of what side you're on, and while promoting similarly messaged fucking videos that are in, say, Jimmy Kimmel. Like, it's like everything Jimmy Kimmel says is fine, but everything that fucking, I don't know, if Tim Curry wants to say something about politics, like, that may end up not being monetized. It's like, what is this? What's going on here? Oh, Jesus. What was that? What? Okay, hold on, Jesus. That wasn't good, that wasn't fair, but it's a good thing I've got some more water over here. I forgot about it for a whole, god damn it, I really need to prepare myself in case, like, something like that did happen. Alright, let's go over here. And that should do it, maybe? Hey, I just broke that block. I just met you. So call. But it's like, no, Google's starting to play ball now because they want to control the narrative. And that's what these corporations do. They control the narrative so that they can get better ratings and not be made fools of. That's why, like, you've got a new scare, a new, like, medicine scare. Well, not medicine scare. Fucking a new fucking my sinuses. A new fucking disease scare. Like, every year almost to this day. And the government buys into it too. Remember when Obama, like, declared that the fucking flu, the fucking swine flu, an epidemic, and it's just like, whoops, it's only a minor disease that barely impacts you. Our bad. But it's like, whoops, it turns out he had quite a chunk of fucking stocks in the company that owns the patent to the what was it? I believe it wasn't a cure, but it was a shot, a fucking vaccine. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a cure, but it was like they owned the copyright to it, and he's got a big stock in their company. So hey, money. And I know that presidents do that all the time, But the biggest issue is that it no longer applies to, say, wars and other, like, strictly government matters. And that isn't to say I don't think citizens should have anything to say about wars. I think that the more you say about it, the better. But the biggest issue is that the media is now cooperating with said government. They're cooperating with those people who are saying, hey, let's scam you, and we're gonna be, and everything's gonna be cool. Everything's gonna move on. We're heroes. We're in this together. And it's just like, no. Like, when is the badge, like the media sold itself out. The major media corporations just totally sold themselves out, and now big internet is starting to become a thing. I mean, of course, like in America primarily, like you've got the whole Comcast and AT&T, or who was it? It was Comcast and someone else, Viacom, who who owned who pretty much owned the internet in America, who pretty much you cannot get like internet virtually through anybody who isn't in like the same handful of conglomerates that belongs to either Viacom or Comcast. And that in itself is a whole different ballgame. I cannot stand the fact that despite us having laws against monopolies, we have so many fucking monopolies. We have so many major organizations not being called out for being ultimately corrupt and unfair and creating the opposite of what's supposed to be a quote-unquote free market, and everybody's like, nah, this is fine. This is what it's supposed to be. And I can't say I agree with that assessment. Now, of course, that was a straw man that I just pulled out of my ass right there, because there's nobody else here to argue against me on that aspect. But to have such a broad thing like the internet, and for it to be in the hands of only a handful of companies and subsequent companies, that's horse shit, quite frankly. It's ridiculous. It's preposterous. Like, and nobody can get into that market. Nobody can get into that market. At least nobody who's independent. That's one of the biggest issues with the capitalist free market, is that nowadays there are huge industries that are just toppling others because those industries were created, were either invested into to a point of where no one else can so much as touch it without being assimilated or bought out or extorted. Like, I mean, I honestly think that there's a huge patent problem in the U.S. And, you know, I'm not talking about getting rid of the idea of I'm not talking about getting rid of intellectual properties as a whole. I think that they can be utilized very well when given the circumstances. The issue is they haven't been given the proper circumstances. You've got Thomas Edison, who just masturbated over patents all day and all night, and there's absolutely no complaints from any other major businessmen, because the biggest issue in the United States and even the world right now is whether or not is how far IPs can go. How far until it no longer becomes about the money man? How long until it actually becomes about people who invent things and own an idea, but because someone paid the money forward, that's the idea. Now, one can argue that someone bought an idea, bought a concept. Now you can, okay, so hold on, I need to get a drink. Oh yeah, I poured a lot of Jack in that one. Woo! Let's see, what was I going to... Oh, yes. Like, the biggest issue in the patent market is that so many people aren't getting the patent that, honestly, I mean, of course, I'm no lawyer, but, like, so many people are getting absolved of their blatant creations. Like, unless somebody says, hey, they own this concept, hey, they own this idea, then that's a different story. But honestly, like, I think the best step forward that writers and what have you have, good English, Silas, you're making a very good case for yourself. God, oh boy, ow, wait, this is good. I'm evening the playing field. Fuck your shit. Yeah, there we go. All worked out in the end. Alright, let's get back up. Get it up, get it up, get it up. Let's go. Let's look at the snow. I see lots of bullshit webs. Oy. But yeah, the patent situation is very sticky. And, you know, while I am for patents, while I feel like they are a necessary part to make sure that, like, artists and, like, construction workers, well, not construction workers, but architects and what have you are protected from any degree of craft. Like, there are some times when, quite frankly, people should not own something. I don't know how to explain it, but let me think, and let me place an example. There is the issue when Michael Jackson was forced to sell off his assets from Sony for them underselling his history album or his story. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the name of that album was supposed to emphasize. I mean, like, what were you thinking, Michael? I love you, but come on. Or what was that? His story? History? Capital H, capital I story? I don't. Anywho, God, that. I wonder if that was the reference in fucking Historia, where they're just like, where it was like, welcome to his and her Storia. And it's like, aha, gotcha. And to me, it actually made a whole bunch of sense as a kid. I mean, of course, I wasn't involved in identity politics when I was a fucking kid, because I was literally a fucking kid. Like, when I first heard that, I think I was like 7. But, you know, I was just like, you know what, yeah, why is it called history? Like, I'm sure that, like, somebody will explain how it's, like, based off of some form of Latin, that it's not actually relevant to the term him or any sort of gender identity references. But, you know, it was an interesting... Son of a bitch. It was an interesting factoid that just stuck in my mind for the longest time. Well, it was good that I got the politics out of my system for now. I'm sure I'll touch back on it probably within this episode, but I hope you enjoyed that momentary lapse in actual discussion with myself. Me, myself, and Erwin? What was that one? Me, myself, and Eileen? My name is Earl. I'm trying to remember this one movie, this one, show that was called Me, Myself, and Steve? Was it? Oh my god, I can't remember what the hell that was from. But it was from something, don't make no mistake. Ugh. Oh my god, I just burped in some poor kid's ear. I am so sorry. That one, I was not prepared for. It was just, it was ready or not, choo-choo. Choo-choo into my mouth. Oh, let's keep going on that term of identity politics. And there's nothing fucking wrong with identity politics. Identity politics should be... Okay, should they be involved in politics? Yes. Should they be the main fucking aspect of politics? Hell fucking no. Because then you've simply got a different face on the same construct. Like, say Hillary Clinton, who was a huge warmonger, who I talked about last month. Like, she didn't really, despite her being female, and despite that being her base, she had nothing feminist going on for her. Nothing feminist. Like, one can argue, like, well, abortion and gay marriage is gay marriage a feminine issue still, now that it's, like, legal? I mean, one could argue whether or not it was a feminist issue even back when it wasn't legal, but that's not the point that I'm getting at right now. And of course, she was against that for a while, for forever, during her election process with during the fucking earlier like election stuff in 2008. She was against it. It's like, you're not advocating anything for feminism. Nothing you say is feminist, and you're using like woman president like as the standing when it means virtually nothing to actual women. And that's one of the key issues as to why I feel that Clinton lost the election, is because she didn't appeal to the liberal base that she was trying to get at. She was like, hey, look at me, I'm one of you guys, right? And everybody was like, whatever. And that doesn't put asses in voting booths, regardless of who you talk to. You know, like, Trump's rhetoric was dreadful, but he got people pumped. Regardless of what you think about those people, like, he got people talking. He got people talking about his policies, he made himself, like, justifiable. Like, he wasn't just a face slapped onto something else. And that was so blatant with Clinton. That insincerity was just so blatant with her. Like, I believe I mentioned this last time. Like, say what you will about Bill Clinton, and trust me, I do. But the guy was good at lying. She is not good at lying. She is the worst fucking liar. Like, she's like me, except I don't admit that I'm wrong every 5 minutes, and I don't open, like, a discussion. And I do open a discussion. Like, wow, really? All of that gone just like that? Alright, shit. Here we are. Oh, jeez. There we go. And there we go. Like, it was just such a misstep building her up and just endorsing her to death. Like, it was the biggest fucking mistake. And it's, you know, would I deny that like sexism had something to do with it? Sure. I'm sure there are sexists out there who said, "Oh, I want a woman president." And, you know, like, even my liberal dad was like, I don't think fucking the world's ready for a female president, female U.S. president. And, like, other naysayers like that. But I honestly think it's because there was nothing to stand for. Like, the thing with identity politics is they are a great base. They are a great base to introduce something new. To introduce something amazing. And just utterly preposterous and, like, far out there. Something that like the former people would, like, just go huff huff huff. And unfortunately, the one who was able to take better advantage of that was Trump, who toted his white privilege, who pretty much acknowledged the troubles of your common white worker. Am I saying that, like, his rhetoric and fucking just am I going to say that that was his intention? Maybe not. But either way, it was sure as shit a better advertising policy. You can't deny that. Of course, one would say like, well, he technically didn't win. And you're right, he technically didn't. But that's the big issue, isn't it? Is that, like, that gets us into the whole electoral college thing. And now the whole electoral college thing is, I believe, a big xenophobic mess in of itself. Because essentially what it was supposed to be was supposed to protect essentially white people from the advocated rights of black people. And the reason for that is quite simple. It's because in the South, guess what? It turns out that like for a certain time at least, black people very much outnumbered the white people. And they tended to, you know, vote together because of segregation, obviously. And the white people, they had, and this is, I'm going to put this term very gingerly, they had a more complex palate. And that isn't to say that the African Americans of that time weren't politically savvy. It's just that and I'm talking about like early 40s, 30s, 20s, everything like that. Like, these are people who were oppressed for centuries and pretty much tossed out into the world and said, hey, here you are, good luck, bye. And these are people who were, like, people were paranoid back then about black people who could read. And so any African American individual who had the right to vote, etc., like, who could read, was considered a danger. And of course, like, unless you live in the backwoods and, you know, you get your clan buddies together, there's no way that you can stop a political movement of the African American populace. And the biggest issue, and so they said, why not just make sure that they cannot, and that we keep the communities, like, together and vote via community as opposed by sheer number. If we vote by sheer number, then there was disappearing acts going on the screen. They said, let's vote by community instead of by number, because if we vote by number, then odds are the majority of the people that the black community is interested in, they may end up winning. And so they pretty much held on to the process of, you know, the whole process of the Electoral College, even when the Electoral College, even when the technology was able to keep up, the technology, the bureaucracy, all of that, even after all of that was like unnecessary, they kept it anyway to make sure that the actual majority may not actually win, but instead people who are like-minded and physically near each other will win. And, you know, that the whole issue with black community and segregation is that they were segregated a bit more from each other than, you know, your average white population. Like I said, the whites tended to disagree with each other, and the blacks tended to actually vote as a community. And so it was like, hey, what better idea than to like just shake the cage? And, you know, I probably just made an argument against myself, because I said, hey, why not vote by community to keep the black vote out, despite them acting as a community? The issue is they didn't want the black community to act as a community, and so they kept them physically apart. They voted by like statewide. It's like they also limit fucking voter polls, and so your average working stiff who works the most hours can't vote because they're working so damn hard because they need to survive. And so, what better way to get your political agenda through than to vote not only in community, but to make sure that that any risks of potential working class uprising is snuffed out once again by limiting voter polls. Jesus Christ! Oh boy! That's why you only get. That's why you only get voting by mail in like very, very niche areas, even still. And I'm gonna argue the fact that's like, who knows? Like, given that given that like the tallies are digital now, literally anything can happen. Because nobody is going in and physically counting that. There aren't multiple check systems in place. There's only one check system. So it's like, who like, it's another level of fucking oppression. Because you can't be made certain that somebody is voting for somebody, at least not on a statewide or a countrywide scale. Like, you just have to trust the results and say, yeah, that's what happened. And, you know, if you argue with the computer, yeah, it's right there. But the computer has a margin of error. And not only does the computer have a margin of error, it's like, you know, I'm not going to say, oh, the voter polls were hacked, oh, the results were hacked. If the results were hacked, we'd have a fucking uproar about it. But the thing is that they're not being hacked by any country. They're not being hacked by any fucking oppressive alternate international regime. I'd honestly argue that the first people who would edit those fucking results are the people in the goddamn White House who put on fake smiles and say everything is fair, everything is fine. Not just some menace, not just some big, like, shady guy in some country that we've had political confrontations with. Like, that's your first assumption? That's your first go-to? No, it's gonna be somebody on the inside. Who would want... obviously, some people would want to get get someone from the outside, fucking, like... Kim Jong-un and Putin both endorsed Trump during the election. And it's like, that's the extent as to what their influence over the election would go. That's as far as that influence would go. Because, like, of course, everybody argues that, that, of course, that's what he wants you to think. And it's like, first of all, we weren't fucking okay, if you want to investigate something that badly, if you want to stomp your feet so loudly and say something to the fucking skies that badly, then sure, start a fucking investigation out of your pocket. Independent investigation, not government investigation. You're telling me that all the millions of dollars that, like, either party has, that you can't get an independent, sincere, like, what's the term I'm looking for? Non-bipartisan party you can't get any third party to look into it. You can't contribute your money to them. You have to make it a government based investigation. Why is that? Is that to like this is a theory that I came up with like a few days ago, and you're welcome to critique it, what have you. I'm not advocating 100% for this idea. I'm not passionate about it, but it's like, what if the whole idea behind the Democrats' urge to do the Russian investigation, hypothetically, hear me out, I have no proof of what I'm saying. What if it's to deliberately waste government spending under a Trump administration? Now listen, I'm no advocate for Trump, but I like to observe both sides. I hate the binary system that the country is so convinced itself of since like the 70s. Because as far as I can attest, the last time that a third party got introduced with over like, I think it was 4% of the vote in the general election was it was that one black woman in the 70s, and I think that contributes to my claim that the binary system in the Electoral College has helped oppress minority rights. But that's a whole different tangent that I'm not wanting to get into again. Right now we're focusing on this. With the power of alcohol, I have learned to actually keep somewhat of a stable subject matter. And let's see how far I can go with this, huh? I feel like that's to say that the Democrats and the liberals are not trying to deliberately spend taxpayers' money on and spend government and deliberately waste government money isn't a radical idea based on the fact that we are now spending $70 billion more a year on college. Not on college, on fucking military spending. The reason why I said college was because that's what we should be spending it on. Because fucking Bernie's healthcare pie in the sky plan said, hey, only $48 billion of government spending on that. And what's that money going to be spent on? More fucking bombs. More fucking bombs, more jet planes, more innocent lives killed. And there was no debate about that. That legislation passed. It passed with flying colors. It passed I think the numbers were somewhere around 41-8, which is embarrassing. It's embarrassing for this fucking country that we are in the midst of 7 wars, and what's the next decision? We increase our spending on said wars, when we already spend 3 times as much as China, and 10 times as much as Russia on our fucking military. And we're supposed to be our freedom capitalists, We're supposed to be the anti-authoritarians. And yet here we are just devoting so much time and money to fruitless endeavors like war. Hey, how's it going, everybody? How's it going? Fuck you all, Jesus Christ. Fuck you, god damn it. Fuck you, god damn it. Why? Why? God damn it. God damn it, I still hear them. I need to eat real good food. I'm in a corner, I'm good. How close was I to dying? I was relatively close. I was pretty close to dying. I can't see my health bar from where I am. Oh my god. Oh, I needed a deep sip. Oh man, good shit. Good fucking shit. So, no, to paraphrase Jimmy Dore, we only have one party in the United States. One pro-war, anti-education, oppressive regime of a fucking party. And that is both sides. Both sides, same fucking coin. Same fucking coin. Except one portrays itself differently than the other. And I know people won't like me saying that, but, you know, like, I'd say truth hurts, but God, that term has been, that cliched line has been, like, buried under a whole bunch of stupidity that says, oh, but is it, like, it's been buried by those people who don't understand, like, the truth and just say, and when people are upset about it, they say truth hurts when they're just spouting ignorant bullshit. You know, like I could be right now. Like, you could call me ignorant, and, you know, if you explain why, and, you know, we have a chat about it, I'd be down for that. Like, a sincere goddamn, like, no fucking dick waving, no name calling. Something sincere. And of course, I'm never gonna get that on YouTube, so here I am. Oh, hi, how's it going? Fuck you. Yeah, you think you're so tough. You ain't tough no more. You Skeletor. Halloween is coming up. I'm watching Alien right now. Just finished a movie called Snow Beast. And now Silas is on to another tangent. Woo, another tangents. Tangents for everybody. You get a tangent. You get a tangent. Snow Beast was not so great. But I fucking love Alien to death. It's a fucking good-ass movie. And it's in my top 20, so of course I'm gonna watch it. I need to watch some more fucking scary movies, man. Now's the time! I'm feeling it. Most years, like, I'm not in the mood. I don't go for holiday shit. This year I'm in the mood for holiday shit. This year I want some holiday shit in my face. I want it. You want this cake? I need to watch, let's see. I haven't watched the Omen once, even after I bought the goddamn Blu-ray collection. Like, that needs to fucking change. I need to get back into Damien's world. That's Damien's world! Isn't it Damien? Is that the name of it? Yeah, I'm confusing. I keep confusing his name for the video game protagonist. Well, he was a villain, but he was a protagonist nonetheless. Lucian. Like, I keep thinking, like, it's like Lucifer or something, but of course, like, you know, Britain has its subtlety when it comes to religion, unlike the United States. Like, of course, like, Britain tries to be a bit more complex, a little more convoluted when it comes to its religious aspects. It doesn't go for the whole. It doesn't, like, the Church of England, as far as I can tell, is a bit more of a political, hypothetical, a little less on the spiritual. But, you know, some things slip through the cracks. By that I mean a lot can slip through the cracks. Like, once again, nothing compared to what we got here, let alone, like, I'm talking about the United States, let alone fucking Utah. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started. There are guys who talk about the craziest shit on television all the time in Utah. It's called General Conference. Like, and it's supposed to be like, yep, this is the life. This is my life. And I do it a lot, this life of mine. And, you know, religion became so normalized here that it's like, I talk about it sometimes, but not a whole lot. And the reason why I don't talk about it an awful lot is because I feel like it was like I am virtually atheist. Like I don't believe, like despite me claiming to be Muslim, like and me assuming the Muslim identity because it's my heritage, it's the way I grew up. Like I do not believe in an Abrahamic God. Like, do I believe in a God? Not immediately. But am I open to the idea of one existing? Yeah, absolutely. Like, who the fuck am I? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't have a weapon. Let me ask you a question. Yeah! I can't believe that worked. Ah. Oh, goodness. Alright, well, next time I have a exit strategy. Pickaxe. There you are. Now let's get rid of the gravel. Gravel. Devil. I don't know. I was trying to go for 101 Dalmatians with that. But anyway, like, I find that atheists get a little too up their own ass at times. And that isn't to say that really goes up their own ass, okay? It's just like, like, you can only go so far into atheism before you turn into Bill Maher and just start slandering like other cultures for their religion despite you never being involved in their culture or having a lack of understanding of their culture. You know what? I don't need this wood. I'm just going to tear it down. Any wood would be good. I still don't know the name of that one Christmas special that's from. What happened in that musical? I don't know. Some guy finds a bunch of elves. It wasn't that one. Maybe that guy was Santa Claus. It was an animated feature. It wasn't that thing with the guy who was in Big Lebowski. I'm so sad that guy passed. I mean, it's been like, I think he passed in like 2012, 2013, maybe 2016. But I don't know. It still bums me out because that guy. I mean, like. I'm not gonna blame the guy personally for it's probably his fucking agent who had a majority of control over. Let's see, how's my armor looking up? I could get some new boots once I'm done. Get some new booties. Like his shtick was so one note, and it's a shame too because he's such a fantastic actor. Like I can't think of his name immediately, so. Forgiveness. Like, God, I feel like he could have been more charming than he was. Because, like, essentially what the entirety, like, with the exception of that one Santa Claus movie, as far as I can tell, his whole shtick was to be yelling and angry. And don't get me wrong, he played it great. I just wanted him to branch out a bit more. Because, like, in fucking Always Sunny, like he played like this fucking crook guy, but the whole trick was that at the first time, like initially, he like tricked everybody into believing like he was this religious nice guy, and I believed it. He sold me. Like him playing that phony character sold me, which is why I would like for him to have a bit more like parts like that, except actually like sincere and not just evil, sinister with ulterior motives. Like a majority, and it was even funnier because of the fact that like fucking like his character was initially rich in that universe. So I like to think that was the future of the Big Lebowski. I know that it wasn't actually his name, like even before he tried pulling the con that he did on the gang and Frank and whatnot. But it's like, I just like to think of it because the characters are so similar in personality. And while that's cute, it's like I wish that he would have branched out. Like I'm glad he did that part, but I wanted him to do more. And maybe I've only seen like a handful. I mean, I have seen only a handful of his movies. But the ones that I've seen are pretty out there. So it's a shame that a majority of, at least a majority of his most iconic movies, like I'm talking like top 5, because I'm gonna say I maybe saw 3 movies with him. It was like, okay, 4 including the Always Sunny bit. Like, okay, I saw the what was it? I saw Santa Claus with him, where he played the Santa Claus. Where that was the only time when he branched out. I've seen. Then he played the judge in the remake of The Producers. I'm not listing this in any order, just what comes off the top of my head. Because The Producers remake came well after Big Lebowski. I think Big Lebowski was 98. Oh, here comes another burp. I'm sorry. I bereaved you. Ooh, there we go. That wasn't so bad. Which is a shame, too, because I actually prepared you. Yeah, you all probably just leaned back or unplugged your headphones as a result, and it's just like, nope, that was just a flaccid one. Oh, hey! Oh, hey, there's a cart! Let's see, it was, I've seen Big Lebowski, I've seen, let's make sure there's nobody, I see yous! I see yous! Yous think I'm stupid, but I ain't. You's the ones who's stupid, huh? I'm still wondering where that blue spider nest went. That was alarming, to say the least. And you know what? I'm just oh, hey! You two, come along. Come with me, and you'll seep into the afterlife. But yeah, Big Lebowski, Santa Claus, Christ, Santa Claus, Producers, and the Always Sunny thing. No, I heard you coming. I heard you come. Wow, he was tough. He just came in swinging with both hands. Like that was. Oh Christ! I don't want to take anything out of my thing, but I need the bread and the diamond. I need that gold, the diamond. I need. Oh well, I mean, I could. Yeah, here we go. Boom. Issue resolved. Sweet. And then the bread. There's no room for the bread right now. Let's get out. Let's get this out of the thing. Go. Let's iron hoe. No. Dirty hoe. And then fucking Mike Myers just snickers to himself. That son bitch. But yeah, no, that What's His Bucket needs to be in more movies. Needed to be in more movies. I'm gonna take a drink. Now that I've got this chest, let's make our way upstairs. Actually, let's see what's down here. Let's eliminate these sons of bitches. Or this one? Is there just the one? I hear more. Not seeing more. Huh. Oh well. Let's pickaxe some of this action until we're full, because there's quite a bit here. Yeah, buddy. So yeah, let's see, what did we talk about today? We talked about the politics. We talked about that guy who's the Big Lebowski that I can't think the name of, who's probably a really nice guy in real life. Maybe, I don't know him personally, but he sure played a lot of angry characters. Talented actor nonetheless. Like, you can claim, like, plenty of people have talents that are fucking assholes. James Woods! Excuse me. And, let's see, who else? Oh, how could I forget? Good old Mel Gibson. Old anti-Semite Mel Gibson. Anti-Semite, just general racist. The anti-Semite shit gets pushed really hard. Despite him, like... Actually, I haven't heard, like, from all the recordings and whatnot of him, like, drunk, like, I haven't heard like him say anything strictly anti-Semitic. And now I'm not denying that it's out there, okay? Because the reason why I bring it up is because it's like I heard the stuff he said about black people, and it's like, oh Nelly, oh, if you told me this guy was also like anti-Semitic, I would not be surprised. But I've only heard that. That's pretty much it. So it's like I I'm not saying I'd like to see it. I'm just saying that it would help me understand why I'm supposed to hate him for anti-Semitism. Like, you know, just for clarification's sake. I'm not going to defend it. Like, I refuse to listen to JonTron after what he said about black people, women's rights, etc. Like, and what he said, it's up there. It's not the worst, but it's up there. And I'm not happy with it. Like I said, I stopped listening to his shit because of him doing that. And I honestly consider him a race traitor. And I can do that because we are mutually Turkish in origin. Ottoman, primarily. I'm a bit more ethnic than he is, obviously, because the Ottomans that I grew up with were came through via Cyprus, by Cyrus the Great, when Cyrus the Great was like, "Hey, I'm gonna conquer the world, and I'm gonna kill him with kindness," and he essentially did do that, cause like he would conquer, like this is what I've gathered from a show called Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, was that essentially, like, while the Ottoman Turks were a force to be reckoned with, the way that they presented themselves to, you know, people who haven't necessarily heard of their reputation or presented any threat, so they wouldn't need to, was say, "Hey, tell you what, we're really tough. We noticed that you're not so tough, so tell you what, we'll let you, you know, you do you, right? Right? Okay, cool. And like, just you're one of us now. Is that cool? That's cool. Cool. Well, okay, great. Since we're cool and all, uh, since you are one of us, you know, you can worship your gods. You can expand on your culture, whatever you want to do. It's your place still. It's your place. It's just, you know, sometimes like I'm gonna ask for your help. Sometimes like I'm going to like take some taxes from you. Like, it's not a big deal. Can we agree to that? And most nations were like, yeah. And in the India, Myanmar, Nepali area was like, okay, yeah. I mean, not so much. I mean, there were, of course, they started like spreading apart as soon as they got to like the Myanmar area, because the Turkish forces simply just sort of started to dissipate because there's only so far you could go, you know. Only so far you could establish yourself and your empire before like you say, you know what, I'm good right where I am. It's the equivalent of like literally having too much, like having too much, having to juggle too much is what I should try to say. I was thinking of like trying to put too much in your hands, but no, that's precisely what I meant. It's just trying to juggle too much, and that's why you've got primarily ethnic Asians on the Myanmar, in the Myanmar, like the Golden Triangle, you know, Thailand, Vietnam, all of that, all those places. That's why you don't see so many Ottoman influences there. But yeah, no, they ended over there at India, uh, somewhere around like Kazakhstan and Georgia, the country, not the state. Uh, like that's when the Ottoman Turks started to slow down. Why? Because shit was cold. That was why they didn't go further into Myanmar. That's why they only went like up to Nepal. And oh, okay. So this is problematic. How long until daylight? Not for a while. Shit. Should I risk it? I hear so much. I hear so much, and I worry. All right. Well, first, I'm gonna look for my home, and yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. Excuse me. Hey, it's the llama. Oh my God, it's a fucking llama. Ah, it's a joke. It's a meme. Oh boy. Oh boy. I'm running through fire. Through the open fire. Oh Christ. Why didn't I come up with some more torches while I was down there? I thought I did. I thought like that thing was full of torches. I'll have to make a mental note of it and set fire via this direction until I get to the... Okay, I get it. I get it. You own the night. You are the night man. The children of the night. Come play with me. Or however that song goes, the one with Princess Luna. You know, that was a really good video that, like, got me teared up a little bit. Because I was just, like, thinking about everybody who dies and how it was like, and all the people who died in my life, and it's just like, do you float away? Do you literally float away? Is there a land of dreams? Is there a land of dreams? Because that would be great. That would be fucking good. Instead of, you know, just the abyssal nothingness that fucking Bill Maher and fucking... Oh, God. That Bill Maher and... what's his name? Ricky Gervais like to tout about. Like to just blather on and on about. And once again, I'm not knocking atheists, but it's like, I'm afraid of death. I'm afraid of the afterlife. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's out there. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I don't want to think about doom. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about the void. I'm going to take a nap. And then I'm immediately going to burn some houses down until I can find where I left off. And I'm going to do that before this video ends. As you can see by the length of the video. But still, size don't matter. Don't think about it too hard. Don't think about it. Alright, let's go. Let's go. Wait, what was it? Dr. Jinx got the funk. Dr. Jinx got the funk. We all got the funk. It's the most generic fucking beat. You know, that's what I love about Always Sunny is that like all their songs are like the Dayman celebration song is just so it's so basic in its design and like even the finished product is just so droll. So droll. Oh. Oh. And if I remember correctly, there was lava and llamas where I was. So at least I know there was a snowbound area. Anyway, like all the look, there's the fucking sheep that can't get that's stuck there forever. Oh, there's two of them. Ha! Oh, poor deers, sheeps. Yeah, they're sheep. That is what? Oh, they is. Wow. Wow. Wait. Okay. Okay. Just empty shell over here. Just purveyors of destruction. Layers. Now, Is it? Oh, oh, am I getting close? Am I getting further away? I don't know. Oh, this looks like it. Is this it? Okay, if this is it, I'll be so happy. The biggest issue is me. Let's see. Okay, this is not edited. This is okay. So no, this is not. This is not where I was. Okay. Where could I have gone? Dr. James got the funk. You know what would have been great if they had jazz for that part? Like, that would have been great. Like, it was like, Dr. Jazz got the funk. Like that. Alright, so it should be where the llamas are. Now, where are some llamas? Okay, there's some llamas. There's some llamas. Alright, where is you at? Where's that hole? I know. Indeed. Ah! 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 I'm turning into Tim Curry. Dr. Jinx got the funk. Dr. Jinx! Alright, so we went this way. Alright. What about over here? No? Okay, there's something. Pardon. Is this? Is this it? Oh, this is it! Oh, this is it! I found! I see the path from this dark place. I see the future. Son of Mares, a man in time you'll see. I better heal some more, just in case. Doesn't hurt. Son of Mares, a man in time you'll see. You know, I'm not gonna say that that the movie would have been improved by having like individual like characters like singing, but you know, I don't think that Phil Collins necessarily hurt that movie. I don't feel like he damaged Tarzan by him being there. Like, I mean, yeah, was it a '90s thing, '90s cliche? Sure. Sure, there was the Phil Collins beats that was happening at the time. Okay, good. We got it. We got our locazione for next time, assuming that I go with it and that I don't just end up going somewhere else. You know, what's wrong with Phil Collins? What the fuck is wrong with Phil Collins? Nothing's wrong with Phil Collins. I mean, he can't drum and sing anymore, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with his music, with his old tunes. You know, Invisible Touch, Land of Confusion, fucking... I love You'll Be in My Heart, that's why I fucking sing it all the time. Okay, first we went with politics, then we went with celebrities, and we went with atheism, now we're on, like... Now we're on goddamn fucking musical tastes. Sure, welcome to another hour in the life of Silas. Another wasted goddamn hour because no one will watch. You'll see. You'll all float. God, lordy. Alright, I'm gonna leave it off here. Vámonos. Go home. Go home. It's all done. Stay wild.